Okay, hi everybody, my name is Natalie Pelletier, and my presentation is about wanting to pursue a career in veterinary medicine. First, I want to start off with a question. Has anyone here ever been in a situation where the outcome was much different than you originally expected? Anyone? Yeah. Okay, well I can relate to that, specifically with my first internship. I completed my original internship at the Developmental Center of the Ozarks, and this was because I really thought I wanted to go into a career that dealt with working with special needs children. And although I did have a really great time while I was there, I did realize that's not exactly what I want to pursue as a career for the rest of my life. So it got me thinking about what interests me, specifically academically, and I began to think about the classes I was taking in school, and I really enjoyed my anatomy class along with other science classes. So that led me to pursue a career in veterinary medicine, and then I proceeded to complete a mini internship at the Parkcrest Veterinary Hospital with Dr. Bev Sherman. So first I just want to talk a little bit about what a veterinarian does. And when most people think of a veterinarian, they think of the general kind of job responsibilities, which is just to care for the health of animals. And they can do this in a variety of ways. First, they can diagnose animals, treat them, perform vaccinations or surgeries, and even prescribe medications. And that a lot of people don't realize that what veterinarians do, it can depend on what type of veterinarian you are. And so the different types, there's companion animal veterinarians, which those are the most general type and the type most people can associate with. They are the type that take care of pets and other household animals. And then there's also equine, which those deal with caring for horses. And then there's also food animal, which those deal with farm animals. And then the next type is food safety and inspection veterinarians, and I didn't know that this was even considered a veterinarian before performing my research, but they deal with inspecting foods that come from animals, so any dairy products or meat. And then finally there's also research veterinarians, and those are again kind of more behind the scenes. They don't really work one-on-one with animals, but they do the background information that's necessary to allow this career to thrive. So basically, even though they all have different job responsibilities, they all serve the common goal of improving public health through animals. In order to become a veterinarian, you have to receive your Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree, and you have to do this at an accredited 4-year college. And this is generally 4 years in addition to receiving your undergrad degree, so a total of 8 years of schooling. And while in college, you'll take classes dealing a lot with science or humanity or even social science classes, which, like I mentioned earlier, those all appeal to me, so that's one of the reasons that I looked into this career field. So after you receive your degree, you will have to pass the North American Veterinary Licensing Examination. And something unique about this is you can get certified here in Missouri, but if you were to move to California or any other state, you would also have to be certified in that state in order to practice. And then a lot of people, they also participate in internships after receiving their degree, and this is because it gives you kind of hands-on experience that a classroom setting probably couldn't provide for you, and it also makes you much more appealing to future employers. So something for me personally when I'm looking at a career, although I want to enjoy what I'm doing, I think it's also important to consider the future outlook of that career. And so the median pay for veterinarians is about $85,000 a year, and the average job outlook is about 12%, which is considered to be about average. And although the job future outlook for the job is about average, people aspiring to be veterinarians might have trouble finding jobs because more people are wanting to be veterinarians than there are becoming jobs available. So that is something I'll need to think about when wanting to pursue this career. But overall, people are always going to have pets and they're always going to need someone to take care of them. So the job will never disappear as a whole. Like I mentioned previously, I completed a mini internship at the Park Crest Veterinary Hospital with Dr. Bev Sherman. And while I was there, I did a variety of different things. I observed appointments with pets, their owners, and Dr. Sherman. And this was actually a lot like when a person goes in for just a checkup at the doctor. She did a lot of those same things, and just to make sure that the animal's vitals and everything were good. And I remember one specific example from when I was there. An owner had brought in her dog because she thought the dog had a spinal injury. And so Dr. Sherman was able to run a few tests on the dog, and thankfully everything was okay. And I really enjoyed being able to see the relief on the owner's face when she found out her pet was okay. So that was one of my favorite parts. But I also got to view x-rays and ultrasound and blood work while I was there. And my favorite part of that was being able to see the ultrasound, because it's not every day you get to see a live dog's heart beating. So I thought that was very beneficial and not really something you can get just from reading a book. And finally, I got to perform a mock checkup on a dog. And like I said earlier, I just did the basic things that a doctor would do to a real person if they came in for a checkup. I looked at its eyes and its ears and made sure its paws were okay. So that was also very beneficial. These are just two pictures of my internship. The picture on the left is kind of the behind-the-scenes area where the more in-depth examinations take place. And then the picture on the right is a machine that they use to look inside the animal's mouth, which can be very beneficial if the animal is trying to bark or bite at you. Not only did I get to complete an internship, but I also got to have an informational interview with Dr. Sherman. And there were three main points that really stood out to me during this interview. And the first point was her passion for what she does. And whenever I'm considering the career I want to pursue, it's very important to me that it's something that I can love for many years to come. And so Dr. Sherman, she really did exhibit that passion when I was talking to her. And it was very apparent that she loves what she does. So that was very comforting to me, to be able to see that she loved her job. Second were the qualities and characteristics that successful veterinarians possess. And the first one was they need to be eager to learn. And this is because the field is always changing. There's always new issues coming up that might not have been as important a few months ago. An example of this would be the recent outbreak of Ebola. That wasn't necessarily on anyone's radar a few months ago, but now veterinarians are searching to see the connection between animals and humans. So you just always need to be craving new knowledge in order to stay up to date with the field. And then the second characteristic was compassion. You need to be compassionate both toward an animal and the human, because although you're essentially caring for the animal, you're also taking care of the owner as well, because they care for that animal more than anything else in the world. So you need to be able to look out for both people and animals. And then finally, she mentioned all the variations of veterinary medicine. And like I mentioned before, there's many different types, and that really appealed to me because I want a career that will allow me to explore different areas and not kind of be stuck in the same place. And this career is one that will allow me to look into different types and always keep me interested. So service learning that I can do as a veterinarian, they all kind of deal with the same thing, which is caring for pets that might not be getting that care otherwise. And so I can volunteer at the Humane Society, care for pets of the elderly, and also care for pets of homeless people. My future plans are to attend the University of Missouri in the fall of 2015, and I hope to eventually be able to attend their veterinary school as well, because they have an exceptional program. And then after that, I would want to open my own companion animal practice, which is the household pets, and then much like Dr. Sherman did here in Springfield. In conclusion, I'm very interested in pursuing this career field, and I think the internship that I got to participate in really helped me confirm that interest. And not only that, but the research was also very valuable, because it kind of provided me with the foundational information that you need to know when you're considering a career. But overall, I think this experience was a success, and I'm very excited to see where my future takes me. Thank you.